Welcome to Kelly's College Bowl Picks. I'm Kelly Stewart for PlaySugarHouse.com, your home for legal sports betting. If you want the best live betting in New Jersey, you have to check out PlaySugarHouse.com. Here are my bowl picks for Tuesday, January 1st. The Outback Bowl, Mississippi State versus Iowa. I made the line Mississippi State -5, so I have to lean with the dog here. Though Hawkeyes head coach Kirk Ferentz is 1-3 straight up and against the spread in his last 4 bowls. Joe Moorhead knows the Hawkeyes scheme well from his days at Penn State. Both teams have outstanding defensive lines, and this will be a defensive struggle. Bulldogs quarterback Nick Fitzgerald's mobility will be a handful for an Iowa defense, holding teams to just 17.4 points per game. Hawkeyes quarterback Nate Stanley faces the SEC's #1 pass efficiency defense and a pass rush that generated 36 sacks in 2018. Mississippi State will have a tough time running against an Iowa defense that allows 104 rushing yards per game. I will have the advantage on special teams, so I look for the Hawkeyes to surprise everyone and possibly get the upset. The Fiesta Bowl, UCF versus LSU. I always hear that UCF didn't play anyone, and this is partially true. They played the 90th toughest schedule this season. But in the last 6 years, Group of 5 teams have done very well against Power 5 schools. In 2017, UCF upset Auburn. In 2015, Houston upset Florida State. 2014, Boise State upset Arizona, and in 2013, UCF beat Baylor. So I can see why many of you are looking towards UCF to pull the upset here. But the difference is those teams had a bubble burst loss prior to their bowl game, i.e. they didn't win their conference championship or they lost to a big rival. LSU is very happy to be here. To start the season, their expectations weren't set very high by the media. So a New Year's Day bowl game is a very good thing for this team. We knew prior to the AAC championship Milton was out for the Knights, and a team now has one complete game film of Darryl Mack. This will be the best defense UCF has faced. LSU's defense is allowing 3.8 yards per carry and 50% completions, though they are without their 2 best cornerbacks, Greedy Williams, who's leaving for the NFL, and Kristen Fulton, who is injured. LSU has faced a much tougher schedule, 18th in the country, has the edge in the trenches, and a significant matchup edge with their proven run power game versus UCF's weak run defense. I like LSU to cover in this spot. The Citrus Bowl, Kentucky versus Penn State. Kentucky is 0-4 straight up and 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 bowl games. This is their first time in a New Year's Day bowl since 1951 in the Cotton Bowl. This is a big stage for a Kentucky team who superseded expectations this season. Duke's team leans on a core group of upperclassmen, including All-American candidate, defensive end linebacker Josh Allen, and running back Benny Snell. The Wildcats rank 3rd in the SEC in scoring defense, with only one opponent in Georgia generating more than 30 points. With a win over Kentucky, Penn State coach James Franklin will hit the double-digit victories in each of his last 3 years in Happy Valley. The month to prepare should be a huge lift to quarterback Trace McSorley as a senior who was banged up at the end of the regular season. Kentucky struggled down the stretch, going 2-5 against the spread. On offense, Penn State holds huge edges at quarterback and wide receiver. On defense, they also hold a significant edge in the defensive line. The Nittany Lions are clearly the better team. It's just hard to factor in motivation for them, but if they come to play, they are the right side here. I'll lay the points with Penn State. The Rose Bowl, Washington versus Ohio State. I'll give Washington a 1-point edge for familiarity. This isn't the first time they've played in the Rose Bowl. Washington played a tougher schedule and is the better defense here. I understand this is Urban Meyer's last game, and the Buckeyes have one of the best offensive players in Dwayne Haskins. But this line is ticked up enough to cover those bases. And at its current number, I have no choice but to make a play on the Huskies. Jake Browning is the only player in college football to start every game of his college career, and he's going to have a great game against this Ohio State defense. The Huskies defense have the blueprint for slowing down this Buckeyes offense. Look for this to be a close one with Washington pulling the upset. The Sugar Bowl, Georgia versus Texas. Georgia is 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 bowl games. Motivation is key here. Are they excited to be in the Sugar Bowl, disappointed in themselves for blowing that lead to Bama, unmotivated to not being in the college football playoff? A lot will be made of Tom Herman's record as a dog here. Tom Herman, 12-3 against the spread as of late with 10 outright upsets, and the Longhorns are catching double digits here. Georgia's offense finished the season with season-high offensive numbers at Kentucky versus Auburn versus UMass and versus Bama. Georgia has significant edges at the offensive line and with running back DeAndre Swift, but Texas has a stronger defensive line and wide receivers Humphrey and Johnson will challenge UGA's secondary. Ultimately, I don't see Georgia getting amped up for this one. They had Bama on the ropes and couldn't get it done. I'll take Texas plus the points. If you haven't already, make sure you head over to the App Store and download the Sugar House Sportsbook app so you don't miss out on any of this weekend's action.